So first off, I'll give you a quick summary, or like my thoughts on what happened so far. Okay, so one of the first things that we confirmed is that the contact on the other side of Gemini is actually a real person. Ink messaged John and asked him things that only the real Sean would know, so we have that out of the way. And then Aether, she wanted to take the stairs, and when I believe Beth asked her why, she couldn't say why, so that's really suspicious. And we found that the elevators did have a trap in them. It slowly started filling them with water, so they would drown if they didn't solve the puzzle in time. So did she actually know about the trap, or is it that she has some traumatic experience with elevators? Maybe she's claustrophobic. I don't know. Yeah. So we also found more about the hotel. Um, so they've decided that this is another building that's disguised as the Four Elements Hotel, and Beth thinks this might be because of some personal attachment from Scent, and Ink thinks it's just to get a reaction out of them. Which is kind of weird because the only one that would have a reaction to this is probably Ink, since he would be the only Bellbridge native that would know of this hotel. But he doesn't know it existed anyway, so there was no reaction. Yeah, so they also figured out that just that this was actually pretty interesting. They found that the hotel was automated for the most part, so they think that Scent is actually one of them. So that brings us to the Among Us theory that yeah, one of them is Scent. So based on the hierarchy so far, I think Aether is probably the most likely to be Scent, based on the aforementioned part about traps, and also she's acting really innocent. She's like probably the most positive one out of the group so far. She was like, oh, like we should all work together. Just like nothing is gonna be solved if we all fight and stuff. So and she also believes that none of them is Scent. Like that said, like you would only do that if you were Scent yourself. But okay, and the second person that's the most likely to be Scent is probably Beth, because like every time you ask her for help, she would, I mean, give you help that will actually help you to solve the puzzle. So this could be just like a game mechanic, but she's kind of too smart for like a regular person that's not the main character. And also, when Ray had a theory about that they're actually underground because of like there were no windows and that he found concrete under the chairs in their stairwell, Beth disagreed with him. So that kind of, I don't know if that puts kind of a little bit of suspicion on her. And then the next person on the list will be Ink, because he's the main character and he does solve up most of the puzzles. And if anyone could solve these puzzles, it would be Scent himself. So that's probably not very likely to be Ink, but it would be a cool twist if it does happen. Yeah, Ray. I mean, he did waste time on the second room by like just brute forcing the puzzle, but I think he might just be dumb. Like I don't think that's like a mastermind tactic to like force them to use up 24 hours. Um, Liza. I mean, she came up with the theory, so I don't think the mastermind would bring up the theory themselves. Like unless I don't know, there's really no reason to. And she's also too suspicious, and like the group already thinks she's suspicious to begin with, before like she threw this out there. So yeah, like that's probably the least suspicious one, like out of all five of them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like that last time when I thought about like he was always first to go ahead to the next room, but like, and I thought he might have done something to like do the puzzles beforehand. That's no longer true because for the stairwell he stayed behind. So I'm just gonna remove this. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Beth is still same. Yup. And yeah, I think that's all we have so far. Okay, let's start with chapter 6, Celsius. Hmm, like as in temperature? Okay, so probably temperature related puzzle. I'm not sure I'm clever enough to be of any real help. Don't say that, Ink. You're smarter than you give yourself credit for. Aether had asked Ink to help her with a daunting task. She wanted his help in providing that Scent was not one of the 5 contestants. Ink agreed to help despite his growing suspicion. He figured he had nothing to lose in keeping an eye out for anything compromising Scent may have left behind. I know we can figure something out if we work together. Besides, you're the only one who's willing to cooperate with me. If you don't help, then... Hey, I never said I wouldn't help. Just don't get too hopeful. There's no guarantee that Scent isn't one of us. Come on, Ink. Don't think like that. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm only trying to be realistic. I will do my best to help you, though. You have my word on that. Okay, thanks. Let's catch up with the others. We don't want to fall behind, do we? After you. So there's a boiler room just sitting at the top of that stairwell? Yeah, that makes sense. The other contestants were scattered about the chamber. Liza and Beth were messaging their contacts, while Ray was focused on the next puzzle. Good job, Ray. Ink approached him. You want something? Sorry for taking so long back there. Did I miss anything important? Did we get a new recording from Scent? Nah, no recording. No message of any kind as far as I can tell. I'm assuming the door's locked. How's the puzzle going? It's functional, but I have no idea what the combination is. Scent didn't leave a clue this time, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to work from. It's right over there if you want to see for yourself. CDFKN. Huh. I almost want to say we're supposed to spell something, but no vowels. But there aren't any vowels. Exactly. It's gotta be some sort of code or pattern. These puzzles are getting more and more confusing. Yeah, this one's pretty FKN strange. Fucking strange. I mean, without a clue, I'm not sure how we're going to be able to solve this thing. Strange for Scent to not leave us one. So far, all we know is that the combination is 5 or fewer letters long. So, that's a start. Huh. 5 or few. Okay, yeah. What's the plan then? Beats me. I'm going to mess around with the buttons for a bit. Maybe we should all work on it together? I'll pass. I'll figure it out faster on my own. I see. Well, what about Beth and Liza? Do either of you have any ideas? I'm busy. Oh, Beth, did you want a hand with that? No, thank you. I can manage on my own. Oh, come on guys. We need to stop being so distrustful of one another. The idea that Scent is one of us, that's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, Aether, but do you have any proof that Scent isn't one of us? Well, no, but do you have any proof that Scent is one of us? Concrete, irrefutable proof? No, I don't. Well then, neither of us can disprove the other's claim. So, oh please, it doesn't work like that, Aether. If you think for a second that I'm going to do anything other than what's safest for me, you're mistaken. I don't care how little proof I have. I'm not going to satisfy Scent's twisted ego by playing exit corners the way he wants me to. I can't blame him for being suspicious. What's with that look, Ink? Don't tell me Aether's filling your head with this garbage. It's not like that. I just think that... Oh, I don't give a shit what you think. I expected better from you, that's all. But, like, how could Scent just be one guy? Isn't that a little far-fetched? Too much work went into this place to be the work of a single person. You're right. This is the work of 3 to 4 or 4 people minimum. That doesn't change a thing. For all I know, I'm the only person here who isn't in on this. Is that really what you think? Please, Aether, stop this. You're doing more harm than good. In case you've forgotten, Scent refers to us as contestants. So, that's just a name. There's meaning in a name, my dear, and I believe that Scent is telling us something. We aren't allies, we're opponents. Let's just continue playing this game. Slowly and safely. Don't go wandering off alone, and don't turn your back on your fellow contestants for too long. It's the only reasonable thing to do. The others had nothing to add. Beth put her back to the wall and returned to her Gemini. Why does everyone have to be like this? Scent can't be one of us. There's no way. It's alright, Aether. Let them be for now. Why don't the 2 of us have a look around? Maybe we can find another clue for the puzzle. Alright. The 2 of them made their way to the tangle of pipes lining the wall and scoured it together. I don't even know what we're looking for, I guess I'll just keep my eyes peeled for anything that appears out of place. Let's take our time with this one. We don't want to miss anything. Of course not, but don't forget that we have a time limit. 24 hours seems like a long time, but there's no telling how big Exit Corners really is. That's a fair point, and actually, that reminds me of something. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. It's strange. Sent told us that there was a 24-hour time limit, yet he gave us no way of measuring how much time has elapsed. My Gemini doesn't even tell time, which is pretty stupid. Still, that doesn't mean I can't use it to learn the time. Hey Sean, you there? What is it? I haven't managed to break into your room yet, if that's what you were wondering. No, that's not it. I was just wondering how much time has gone by since the first time I messaged you. About 2 hours, I guess. You guys don't have a clock? Or watches? Nope. What time is it right now? About 1 p.m. Thanks, Sean. Remember, message me as soon as you manage to get into my room. About that, the door to your dorm is hella locked. Who do I need to seduce to gain access to your place? I think one of the janitors is legally blind and like 80 years old. You might have a reasonable shot with them. Oh, ooh la la. Ink gets spicy for once. But seriously, why couldn't you be a normal goddamn sophomore and live with a roommate? SMH. You're a resourceful guy, Sean. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Let's hope so. Say hi to Aether for me. Ciao ciao. Damn, 2 hours already? I guess time flies when you're having fun. So we're on the 6th episode, so that means 3 episodes is like 1 hour? Okay. Ink. Sorry, I got distracted. What's up? I think I found something. Eva pointed to a pipe not 2 feet above the floor. The valve on this pipe is loose. We could turn it clockwise if we wanted to. It looks a bit warped. Maybe it's just old. All of the other valves along this wall are sealed tight. This is the only one that will budge. That does seem a bit fishy. You might be onto something. Should we turn it? I mean, yeah, why not? Ink thought he heard one of the other contestants chime in, but Aether was the only person standing nearby. He shrugged. Yeah, why not? Ink knelt down and brought his hand to the valve, accidentally hitting his elbow on one of the larger steel columns. Hey, don't touch anything. Ink snapped back to his feet. What are you thinking? You have no idea what's going to happen when you turn that thing. No, but we won't know until we try, right? Idiot. What if it triggers a trap? It might also unlock the door. But at what expense? I'd rather do nothing at all than be wrong on this one. It looks harmless enough. I bet those scanners in the other room looked pretty harmless too. Which scanners? In the elevators? The ones in the elevators? Or do you not remember that we almost drowned? Oh. Those ones. It all happened so fast. One moment I'm messaging my father, and before I know it, hello, contestant. Wait, what did you just say? What did you just say? What? Why did you change your tone like that? Repeat what you just said. I was messaging my father, and then Sen startled me. That's all. And what did he say? Hello, contestant. Are you sure that's what you heard? Exactly what you heard? Of course I'm sure. My hearing is perfect. That's a pretty adamant claim. Still, this is interesting. What's got you so excited? Didn't you hear the same thing? Yeah, pretty much. Hey, about that valve. Don't even think about touching it. Too late. You turned it? Well, I was about to. Not half a turn in, it just kinda... Ray tossed what remained of the valve onto the floor. Why would you do that? There's gotta be a clue somewhere, and that loose little knob was too suspicious looking not to touch. More importantly, the look on your face is priceless. You... Liza, before you start yelling at him, I suggest you take a look at the puzzle. Huh? It was difficult to read from so far away, but a message had appeared on the screen. 0 equals 33 equals 100 equals 212 equals 373.15. Huh. Isn't that an... No. Is it Kelvin? I don't know. Huh. That doesn't help at all. And... Why am I sweating all of a sudden? Huh. I knew it. There's a clue. Does anyone have any idea what these numbers mean? Temperature, right? I'm sure I'll figure it out soon enough. Say, does anyone else find it a little hot in here? Yeah, I guess it is getting a bit warm. Say, Aether? Yeah? Why don't you make yourself useful and go prop the other door open? Oh, yeah, I can do that. So this puzzle, I'll do it on my own, alright? Just leave me be and I'll have it done in no time. Why are you so dead set on doing this alone? It'll be faster this way, trust me. You can't know that. What's wrong with you? Everyone? What's wrong, Aether? The door is locked, right? The door won't open. What? We unlocked it just a few minutes ago. It must have locked itself again just now. It won't move an inch. This is all your fault, Ray. The door must have locked itself when you turned the valve. So what? Now I'm gonna solve the puzzle and move on. Hey, guys. What do you want? Ian clutched his chest. He found himself panting. It's like really warm all of a sudden. Can you save your argument for later? I'd like to leave this room pronto. I agree. I've got a bad feeling about this. You think this is supposed to be a trap? Sure, it's a bit toasty in here. Maybe it'll get a bit warmer. That's not gonna kill us. Oh, really? And what do you know about heat, huh? More than you, I bet. So you know that hundreds of people die each year from excessive temperatures? Yeah, but that's not even. And I'm sure you're well aware that without water or air circulation, even moderate environments can be dangerous. It's still getting warmer in here. If the temperature keeps increasing, we'll be vulnerable to hyperthermia. Once our body temperatures exceed 40 degrees Celsius, we'll be in serious trouble, so please, stop showboating and get started on the puzzle, will you? Fine, whatever. He's just hot-headed. Let's solve this thing. Yeah, I think this is Kelvin. Oh, clear. So 100 Celsius is 373 kelvins, I think. Oh, there we go. DNCFK? They're different units of temperature. I lined them up with their boiling points. In Celsius, see what boils at 100 degrees. Fahrenheit, 212 degrees, and in Kelvin is 373. I sort of guessed the other two, but it looks like I'm right. That's the door. I think it's locked. Unlocked. Let's get out of here. Right. Ray started for the door first. As soon as he gripped the handle, however, he snapped his hand back. Gah! This door is fucking hot. For heaven's sake, stand aside. Without hesitation, Beth grabbed the handle and heaved the door open. Cool air poured in from the neighboring room. Beth held the door open with her foot as the other contestants, inconcluded, ran through. Beth hurried through the door herself before it closed with a loud thud. The damp passage offered instant relief from the grueling heat of the boiler room. Ink stumbled over to the nearest wall and leaned against it. The smooth stone was welcomingly cool. Still panting, he watched as Beth alternated between blowing on her palms and placing them on the cold stone wall. Yeah, is her hand okay? She must have burnt her hands when she opened that door. Adrenaline trumps pain, I guess. Idiot! An angry Liza cut short Ink's moment of relief. Wait, did she just slap Ray across the face? Ballsy. I guess that's one way to get everyone's attention. You better apologize this instant. Apologize? For what? You're the one going around slapping people. You almost got me killed. I made it very clearly that nobody was to touch that valve. Of course, you had to go ahead and act like a 5-year-old. I don't know why I expected anything else. If I hadn't turned the valve, the clue would have never appeared. And we'd still be stuck in there. We might have been able to find the answer without the clue. We wouldn't have had to put ourselves in harm's way. And how do you suppose we would have accomplished that? There were thousands of possible combinations. Unless you're saying that you already knew the answer. Sent. You think I'm sent? Where the hell do you get off? Sweat flew from Liza's lips as she yelled. Instinctively, Ink took a few steps back, though there wasn't much room to move. You can't blame us for suspecting you, Liza. It was you who suggested that sentence one of us in the first place. I can't help but wonder if that was to draw attention away from yourself. Nobody asked for your opinion, thanks. Watch your tone when speaking to me, young lady. You've done nothing but mew and complain since the moment I met you. Heh. Grandma finally loses her cool. This shit's hilarious. Grandma? Only my actual grandchildren have the right to call me that. Beth's eyes narrowed and her breathing grew heavy. Ray's comment had made her angrier than Ink thought possible. My. Look at you. You pretend to be all calm and in control, But really, you're just a senile old hag. No wonder your son doesn't want to talk to you. What a silly reason to throw a tantrum. You had best get your act together, Grandma. You! Jeez, even Beth is joining in. This is turning into one huge mess. They'll be at it for a little while, I bet. This might be my chance. Hey, Aether. Aether, like ink, had been watching the argument unfold from the sidelines. The infighting seemed to upset her, but she made no effort to intervene. Yeah? Can I talk to you for a sec? It's not really the best time. Yes, but we can't talk here. Come with me. Ink turned and began to walk back towards the boiler room. Wait, you aren't going back in there, are you? We need to talk privately. There's only one place we'll be able to do that. But it's still boiling hot in there. I need you to trust me on this one, Aether. You do trust me, right? Ooh, I do. Thanks. I'll make it as quick as possible. Ink shoved the door open with his jacketed arm, not daring to touch the iron with his bare hands. The room, while still muggy, had cooled ever so slightly. Walls, wires, and pipes alike were dripping with condensation. I guess the room's designed to cool itself after we've solved a puzzle, or something. Aether, exhausted, stared at Ink in confusion. So, why did you want to talk to me? I have a favor to ask. It's important. Okay, but why ask me here? I want to avoid someone. Even now, I'm not sure how safe we are, but it's worth a shot. Be as quiet as you can, okay? Sure thing. Super quiet mode. Activate. We don't have long, but I need your full attention. Pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. Okay. Let's go on to the next chapter. Chapter 7, Enemy. The contestants have been fighting. Following a close call in the boiler room, Beth, Ray, and Liza were at each other's throats. As he watched from the sidelines, Ink was struck with an idea. He had convinced Aether to join him in the room where they nearly died moments before. It was still miserably hot, but Ink had a request for her, and he couldn't ask her anywhere but there. So what's the point of that exactly? Please, Aether, I need you to trust me on this one. What if they get the wrong idea? So long as my suspicions are right, they won't judge either of us. And if you're wrong, then I'll tell them I put you up to it. Don't worry, I'll be the one to take the fall. Okay, I'll try to be gentle. No, Aether. As hard as you can, okay? It's got to be loud. I don't understand. Why can't you just tell me what's going on? I'm sorry I can't tell you anything right now, but you're the only one person I can trust with this. This will all make sense soon, I swear. You're making it hard for me to trust you, Ink. I hope you know that. I know, Aether. I'm sorry. Once our opportunity presents itself, you need to go for it right away. Don't hesitate at all, you hear? I do my best, that's all I can promise. Thanks. You're the best sidekick a guy could ask for. So, can we head back then? It's still so hot in here. Yeah, we're done here. Sorry for dragging you back in. Shielding his hand with his sleeve, Ink pulled the burning hot door back open. Ink sighed in relief as the cavern's cool air washed over him. The other 3 contestants were eerily quiet. Ink couldn't help but think that he had missed something important. Well, at least they've stopped fighting. Did anyone have a look at the puzzle yet? Ray, come on, you're usually the first one to try and solve it. Say, Ink. What were you two doing back there exactly? Huh? Oh, nothing. Anyway, we ought to get started. Not so fast, you aren't going anywhere until you tell us what you and Aether were up to. It must still be deathly hot in that room. There's no reason to go back in there unless... Unless what? Do I have to spell it out for you? You think I'm sent, don't you? Either you or Aether, or both of you. You've both been pretty quiet since Liza suggested that one of us was sent. And you've put a lot of effort into trying to convince us otherwise. Looks to me that you're just trying to avoid suspicion. Oh, come on. We leave the room for 5 minutes and you all think we're the ones behind this? That's insane. All we're asking is that you tell us what you two are doing in the boiler room. And if I refuse? If you refuse, I'm throwing you back in. You can't do that. Of course I can. I outmuscle the 2 of you, easy. Keeping the door shut won't be a problem either, considering how hot the handle is on the other side. You're seriously threatening to throw us back in there? The rest of us have all agreed to it. We aren't going to let the two of you stab us in the back. You seem like good kids, but it's clear you're keeping something important from us. So please, just tell us what it was you were up to. This isn't good. If I tell them here, it could ruin everything. I just need a little more time. What about Liza, huh? What about me? She's hiding something too, and you don't seem to be threatening her. Don't try to change the subject. See? Look how quiet she is. If you aren't going to pressure her for answers, then I don't see how you can justify pressuring Aether and me. Liza is different. Different? Ray, you said yourself that Liza just screams suspicion. I'll deal with Liza later. Why are they ignoring Liza all of a sudden? How about this? Then, let us help you guys solve this next puzzle. The moment we enter the next room, I'll tell you anything you want to know. Right? Aether? Yeah. Please guys, just give us a little time. Now why the hell would I agree to do that? In the worst case scenario, you'll at least be one puzzle closer to getting out of here. And in the best case scenario, well, we'll see. Please, Ray. Just be a little patient. Fine. Try anything funny though, and I'm tossing your ass back into that oven. You aren't going to talk it over with Beth or Liza? I don't need permission from seniors or 15-year-olds. I'm 18. Thank you very much. Whatever. That's enough. Time's a wasting. Let's get started on the puzzle. Alright. We might get our chance after all. I can't screw this up. Repeat the pattern. Use at least 2 different tiles. Seems clockwise and then something. There we go. Puzzle solved. No, I just crossed my fingers. Did anyone else find that puzzle strange? What about it do you find strange? It wasn't a riddle, not like the other puzzles. Seemed like a riddle to me. Perhaps a tad, but this one seemed more grounded in logic than the others. It was less abstract. That's right, it did feel different, kinda. You think there's something about it that went over our heads? Maybe. Well done, contestants, well done indeed. This marks the end of the preliminary testing phase. If you've made it this far, then you've all been making excellent progress. I applaud you for showing such determination and wit. It should be noted, however, that exit corners is far from over. The next chamber you will... we just got knocked the fuck out. Ink reeled backward, crashing head first into the wall. He staggered to his feet, exaggerating a little. Aether? What's the matter with you? I didn't, Aether, flustered, was apparently having difficulty explaining what she had just done. Ink smiled at her. It's okay, you can tell them. Ink told me to hit him. I swear, it wasn't my idea. Is this true, Ink? It is? Why would you ask her to do something like that? People are drawn to conflict, that's why. What are you going on about? Even Ray hadn't noticed it yet. Ink couldn't help but smirk. Conflict lies at the heart of any good story. It's what keeps people interested. It fascinates them. When Aether slapped me, she created an immediate and obvious conflict. Your human nature got the better of you, and everyone in the room turned their attention to Aether. Including you, Sent. I mean, you stopped halfway through your speech. I assume you took an interest in the situation too. Let's be honest. These aren't really recordings, are they, Sent? You've been speaking to us in real time since the moment we woke up. My. I don't suppose I'll be able to talk myself out of this one now, will I? What? No matter. I have planned on telling you eventually. None of those messages were recordings? That is correct. Then you've been watching us this whole time. That should be obvious at this point. Are you having fun, you sick son of a bitch? As a matter of fact, I am. Is that not the purpose of a game? You better fucking hope I never find you. Or I swear to Christ, I'm gonna put so much hurt on you, you'll wish you were fucking dead. Although I adore your zeal, Mr. Nandon? Okay, we got a last name. I believe I'm in a much better position to be making that kind of statement. So you know our names, huh? Do you need to ask, my wonderful Liza? Indeed, I know many things. Alas, there are many things I do not know. For instance, Ink, how did you know my messages weren't recordings? Truth be told, I don't expect you to tell me. I'm simply curious. Ink paused, unsure if he wanted to share his secrets with the person who had captured him. Is there really any harm in explaining at this point? I bet the other contestants want to know too. Well, the first thing that tipped me off was your pre-message announcements? The first thing that tipped me off were your pre-message announcements. You only reminded us that your messages were recordings when one of us tried to speak to you. I found it strange that you would remind us more than once. When we had stopped trying to communicate with you, the reminders stopped. Of course, this didn't really prove anything, but in retrospect, it was a little strange. Very astute observation, Ink. Yeah, I don't think I caught that actually. It was actually thanks to Liza that I was able to figure it out in the end. Fascinating. Do tell, Ink. Me? Yeah, you. You said something in the boiler room that really got me thinking. It was... Hello, contestant. Hello, contestant. It all happened so fast. One moment I'm messaging my father and before I know it... Hello, contestant. But what does that have to do with anything? You seem pretty adamant that you heard Sent say, hello, contestant. However, when Sent spoke to me, he opened with, hello, contestants. Oh, let's see. Hello, contestants. Now, why do you think he would have used contestants when he's talking to me, but contestants singular when talking to Liza? Because I was in the elevator with you, right? Right. His pluralization probably wasn't even intentional. He just did it subconsciously because he saw that there was more than one person in the elevator. He could see us, huh? Of course he could. It's the only way he could have known which elevator had 2 people in it. Remember how we had to put our hands on those elevator scanners to get them to move? You're the only one who ever touched it. Any contestant could have gone in any elevator, and I could have partnered up with any contestant I wanted. The only way he could have known which elevator had 2 people in it was if he had been watching us in real time. Liza may have had her share of paranoid suspicions, but she was right about one thing. Sen does have front row seats to this game of his. Hidden cameras would be the obvious guess. Huh, no fucking way. You put quite a lot of faith into that small auditory slip-up, don't you think? It was the tiniest of differences. It could have easily been misheard by either Liza or yourself. Well, Liza seemed pretty confident that her hearing was perfect, so I took a shot and trusted her. And hey, it was worth a try. Anything's better than constantly being on the defensive. Hold on, Sent, if you've been watching us, then why didn't you see Ink's stunt coming? I'm sure Ink could answer your question if he was so inclined. Sen's attention was split between the two rooms. Aether and I were whispering in the boiler room, while 3 contestants were having a heated argument in this one. Which one do you think you'd rather pay attention to? So that's why we went back to the boiler room. I'm sorry for not filling you in on the whole thing, Aether. At the time, I wasn't actually sure that he could see us in there, so I wanted to discuss as little information as I could get away with. Now, though, I'm positive of 2 things. Are you listening, Sent? Yes, go on. Firstly, since you've gone to such great lengths to convince us that your messages were recordings, you must have had something to gain from having us believe it. And what else? And since you're talking to us right now, in real time, there's no way that you could be one of us. I see. Do you think this means you've outsmarted me, Mr. Greer? No, I think it means I've outsmarted your entire team. I have no team, dearest Link. Dearest Ink? Oh, it's just me. You're saying you built this place all on your own? Nice try, but I don't buy it. You're correct in that it didn't build anything. However, I alone am responsible for this game's design. The layout, the puzzles, the contestant selection. These things were decided entirely by me. Labor is cheap, you see. Ideas are the only thing that matter in this world. Tell yourself whatever helps you sleep at night. I feel like I should remind you that you've done nothing to better your situation. You're still playing exit corners. Your life still belongs to me until you find the exit. Please don't let that little stunt you pulled go to your head. As the one who brought you here, I could crush you at any moment at all. Tell me, Sent, why did you bring us here? I see no reason to answer that question. I think we're entitled to know. You are entitled to nothing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've grown rather tired of talking with you. There, I've unlocked the door. You'll just have to figure out the next room on your own. Or you could die. Damn. As soon as I start pressing for answers, he takes off. I can't believe he was watching us this whole time. I can't believe Ink was the one to figure it out. Oh, come on. You really have that little faith in me? You can be a little loopy sometimes, but I guess you could be worse. That wasn't half bad back there. Yes, that was clever of you. Thanks. I'm just trying to do my part to get us out of here. By the way, Ink. Yeah? For what it's worth, we weren't actually going to throw you two back into the boiler room. I'd never in all my life do something like that. We wanted answers, that's all. We thought at least one of you would fall for the threat and tell us what you were up to. So it was just an empty threat? That's a relief. I just hate being left in the dark. It's cool, I understand. But it's good to know that Sen isn't one of us. This raises even more questions. Yeah. I mean, why was it necessary to pretend that his messages were recordings? There's the possibility that he did it so we fight amongst ourselves. If that were the case, why didn't he actually use recordings instead of pretending to? Who knows how long this game is? What if one of us dies or refuses to advance? What if one of us broke the rules somehow? Sen might need to change any given message at a moment's notice to fit his needs. Huh, that's a pretty reasonable explanation actually. I guess he doesn't have things figured out as well as we thought. That's right. I think Sen has much less power than he wants us to believe. And now that I know he ain't one of you, I have a feeling it'll be a lot easier to figure out what exactly he wants of us. You're all idiots. So what if Sen isn't one of us? That doesn't change anything. Someone here could still be an accomplice of his. Yeah, you're not wrong, Liza. Not this again. Please, just cooperate with us. Otherwise what? Don't think I'm going to let my guard down so easily. That might be just what Sen wants. Don't think you can threaten me, Ink. She still thinks that one of us is an accomplice. Even though she's clearly the most suspicious person here. Maybe I was wrong about her. Liza? Don't get all preachy with me. It won't work. Please, just listen to me for a sec. Ink put his complete trust in you to full extent, remember? The least you could do is place a little trust in him yourself. What did I just say about getting preachy? Please, can we just cooperate until we get out of here? I want to help you, but that's going to be difficult if you keep acting the way you are. I don't suppose there's any point trying to argue with you. I'll play along for now. Ink sighed. For a little while, at least, he could relax around Liza. Thank you, Liza. You have no idea how much easier this will make everything. I'm happy to have you on board, Liza. Happy to have me on board, huh? I don't believe that for a second. That's a... Huh? What's wrong, Liza? Not this again. Liza, is something the matter? I feel sick. In a span of seconds, Liza's face drained of all its color. Ink could see dark red beads forming at the corners of her lips as she started to cough. She put her arm over her mouth, but it did little to help. Oh. The blood went everywhere. Still coughing, Liza fell to her knees. Ink could only stare in morbid wonder as her spasms grew worse and worse, whipping her tiny frame across the floor. She's coughing up blood, just like me. Ink couldn't help but pity her. Whatever her affliction was, she was clearly in pain. As bad as he felt for her, Ink still had one big problem with Liza. Damn it, what am I supposed to think about her? How does she fit into all of this? I can't stop thinking about our little elevator ride. Something still doesn't add up. Don't think I'm not onto you, Liza. Alright, so that was Chapter 7, Enemy. So, yeah, things are pretty interesting, yeah. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll be back with a new episode pretty soon. Bye.